Yeah, no,
The third question came from David. That was about the mining fee calculation. So,
yeah.
so if you could hook on to that one or to the ASIC booster.
Oh, ASIC boost might be the easier one in some ways. Like ASIC boost is just a patented optimization. And I mean, first of all, the big thing with mining is there's no such thing as optimization. So once everyone has them, if everyone's mining 10% faster, the difficulty adjusts and everyone's in the same place as they were before. And the way ASIC boost works, it's kind of technical, but long story short, it's this fairly complex optimization. They have to implement a lot of silicon, a lot of complex logic, and it gets you like another 10 or 20% improvement over the people who don't implement it. And it's patented. So, worst case is, well, the patent gets in the hands of people who don't want to license it to everyone on a fair basis, which is easy to happen with patents. I mean, if people own it, go bankrupt, you can get bought by anyone who may have all kinds of reasons to buy the patent. And the 20% difference between most and least profitable is a pretty big deal. So our intent was simply, float the idea of, well, what if when we do a hard fork, what if we make sure that ASIC boost doesn't work anymore? And equally, like the way ASIC boost works actually constrains some possible technical changes we might like to make things more efficient. For instance, like version bits, some implementations of ASIC boost actually screw up the version bits proposal because they use some of the parts of the version field to optimize mining performance. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, just the need to even do that is ridiculous. There should be no need to muck about in that by ASICs. ASICs shouldn't have to look at that part of the transaction, part of the blockchain. So there's just a lot of unfortunate problems with the idea, and I think it kind of indicates that the proof of work algorithm, again, the really low-level nitty-gritty details how the proof of work algorithm in Bitcoin works was a bit flawed. It should have, the block headers basically should have been designed differently. And hopefully, we can do some small change and as part of a hard fork that just fixes these problems and makes this patented optimization irrelevant.
But do you see that happening? Because some people say that it's currently already in production.
I could go post a photo of me like holding a puppy, and people would probably start getting puppies. Like our BTC, they'll hate on me for any reason. And keep in mind too, like part of this anti-ASIC boost FUD that's been going around, the people behind ASIC boost, especially Timo, I mean, there's a lot of money at stake. If ASIC boost gets forked out of the protocol, they lose tens of thousands of dollars at minimum, probably more. Yeah, or Timo.
Oh, Timo.
Yeah, Timo. Yeah. I mean, for what I know, like that was his main.
TIMO.
TIMO, yeah. And for what I know, he isn't. The main thing he's been working on in the past couple months has been ASIC boost. Yeah. So he's been out of a job, spending savings to get this thing off the ground. And I can't blame him for being a little pissed off at us for saying, well, fine, we're just going to fork it out of the system. They'll lose a lot of money from this, but we have to set precedents that we're not going to respond to people patenting stuff by licensing it. We should set precedent. We're going to respond by saying, fuck you, stop patenting bullshit. If you want mining to have a level playing field, you can't have access to profitable mining equipment being dictated by patents. So.
But one of the things that you're saying is it was invented before, like twice already.
That's the problem. It wasn't invented prior. Timo's patent probably is the one that's valid in the States. It's not the one that's valid in China. Yeah. But I think the bigger indication though is everyone who's built mining equipment has independently reinvented this.
Yeah.
Like many patents, this is not a very novel idea.
Yeah.
Anyone who's skilled in the art of making ASIC equipment is going to think of it. But unfortunately, the way the patent system works is if you file first, you get the patent.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many people reinvent it.
Some people say it's already in production that way.
We don't actually know.
Yeah.
And one of the nuances of this is if it is in production, given that a patent exists, people might not want to say it is.
Yeah.
Because if you say that, you'll get sued.
But there is sort of like a limited time window to do the hard fork thing, right? Because if you do it in 3 years and everyone is using it, then it's going to be a big problem.
But if everyone is using it, it's no longer a problem.
Well, it's still potentially a problem. I mean, what if you want to, like, what if 3 companies make ASICs with it? Now you want to make company number 4.
Yeah.
Those 3 companies may just never license you the patent, and you're screwed. Your hardware will be competitive.
But those 3 companies are not the ones licensing. The patent owner decides to.
Well, I mean, what if, like,
Yeah.
what if Bank of America buys a patent?
Yeah.
They could use it to go hold back Bitcoin. And they could use it to go pick and choose who's able to do Bitcoin mining.
It's just a centralization issue we were talking about before. So.
Yeah.
So the central bank is going to buy it.
It's plausible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of other things they could go do too, but that's an example of something where politically it wouldn't look as bad as, say, telling Intel and TSMC and so on to stop making ASIC equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, we might as well go fight that front on all levels.
But this hard fork thing, if you want to do it, you would announce it within like maybe a few months or something, because otherwise it's too late.
Yeah, you want to get the ball
To roll it out,
rolling.
it's going to take a year probably, at least.
And equally, I mean, if everyone's using it now, which could be the case, and then everyone stops using it, well, they might not care. It just means their chips are going to be simpler in the future. Similarly, we can fix the ASIC boost thing in a way that doesn't disadvantage anyone who's already designed hardware for it, in the sense that their hardware can still work. Because you have a choice of either using the existing proof of work algorithm or a very slightly tweaked version where the ASIC boost optimizations are relevant.
Their ASICs can already switch between, or you
I mean, you can design it in that way.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's part of the reason why I went, I said this publicly, just say, hey, could you guys give us feedback on what makes sense? Because I think there's a reasonable chance most people in the industry agree that patenting mining optimizations is a very bad thing for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You want anything you need to do to mine profitably to be equal opportunity.
Yeah. So one of the first things that the anti-your proposal people said, like, there's already countless patents.
Which is just dumb. I mean, that's not true at all.
Yeah.
There's countless patents on how to make chips,
exactly.
but that's a completely separate issue.
It's a whole different level.
Yeah.
I found it like really weird. I mean, it's definitely a proposal that makes sense to at least discuss and really think about it. Some people would jump off right away.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Timo was behind some of that. But and like I said, I mean, I could post a photo of me holding a puppy and people would hate puppies.
That's true. Your proposal is,
I really should do that, actually. See how much hatred I can make for puppies. For the record, I think puppies are cute.
Yeah.
I think they're wonderful and adorable.
Well, we are filming this, so.
Hey, I want to be on record that I'm pro puppy, okay?
But you still see possibilities for such a hard fork thing, and you're still pursuing it. Because the discussion is dying off a little bit, I guess, but it's.
Well, I mean, the fact that Gavin kind of got more than a little discredited and Bitcoin Classic just hasn't had any developers join. Note, I mean, there's only so much people trying to go push for a block size increase can do if they don't have devs.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, like on the Bitcoin Classic site, they started off with a bunch of people listed publicly, and gradually over the months, like every single person who was listed got removed from the site for various reasons. Marshall Long turned out to be a massive scammer. Like the Tuman brothers, one of them was smoking pot on the Bitcoin Classic Slack channel, and it's just all this stupid stuff. Olivier people dragged up his history as apparently being a bit of a racist, to say the least. I mean, how do you keep surrounding yourself with people who do shit like that? It's just, really says something about their poor judgment.
Not really great developers anyway.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, we wouldn't want those people to quit Classic and join Core right now.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know, there's a lot more that they need to learn.
Yeah.
So,
It looks like the chat itself isn't available, which the website is.
Okay.
Ik heb hem net gewoon geopend zo, met de chat.
yeah, those transaction fees.
Another one of those endless topics.
Oh, controle, sorry. Kan dat zijn dat hij DDoS is of zo? Ja, want ik heb hem een paar keer op Reddit gezet, de chat.
This is ready.
Okay.
Cool.
Reageer zo dat publicatie doen, gewoon met een WhatsApp gewoon.